Hey there guys, welcome to the next time-lapse here on the channel. I made a Harry Potter time-lapse probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe close to 5 or 6 weeks, but it wasn't really very complicated. I really wanted to go back and kind of visit it fairly soon after I'd filmed that video, just to spend a little more time on it and really come up with a really cool looking silhouette here. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. It's going to be a lot more complex. Even if you don't like really Harry Potter, you're probably going to admire the complexity of this one. Instead of making it just a simple black and white silhouette, I decided to make the colors a little more wacky. I decided to go with electric blue and red for his actual silhouette here, and you can see the image there. A lot more complex, as you can tell. A lot more going on in this picture here than in the other one. So definitely wanted to, move the camera around, make it a little bit easier to see, and really go all out with a much more complex thing here. I'm not really a huge fan of Harry Potter, so I really don't know too much about it. Like, I know as much as the average person, but I'm not going to spend the entire video talking about Harry Potter because, well, I don't really know anything about Harry Potter. But I guess I'll just fill the time with a few other things like what I have coming on the channel. I apologize for the lack of videos over the past week or so. I got sick about 5 or 6 days ago, and it's just taken me to about now to get better. So it took me a long time. I had a really bad cold and I could barely breathe or barely talk. So that's why the lack of videos over the past week or so. The most recent tutorial I filmed with the mixing and matching color patterns was actually filmed about a week ago. So that was long before I got sick. So that kind of shut me down for a little while. So here's the bottom part of his his shoulder and his shirt right on here. And of course I have to cut out all these in different pieces and then stick them together because there's no way they're going to, just peel all up and then stick them on from there. I got to do it all in different little pieces here. So you can see me try to mess around with this one as best I can to kind of make it so that it works. But it took a few tries, probably about 3 or 4 minutes of just trying to get it right there. So luckily you don't get to see all of that, but it takes me a little while to usually arrange it just the way I want it to be. So working on cutting that out. I have a few cool things coming to the channel pretty soon. Of course, more tutorials are always on their way. I'm always working on the prototypes for new things. I do have a live stream coming pretty soon. I did get the approval for it on my channel. The issue with it is I'm trying to make sure I have all the bugs ironed out before I just announce I'm going to be doing a live stream and then it doesn't work. So I want to make sure that like I might just do like a random one, just just hop on, see if it works, and then whoever shows up I'll just ask them like what it looks like from their end, and then I'll know the ins and outs from it by then. So that'll probably the test for it will probably be coming pretty soon. I won't announce that or anything. It'll just be kind of whoever shows up, whoever happens to see the fact that I'm broadcasting live can just jump in and ask me a few questions or whatever. A lot of cool things I can do with the live shows or the live streams. A lot of cool things. You guys have any suggestions or comments, concerns, ideas, you can always put them in the comment box below. I do a pretty good job of reading all the comments on my videos. Not on all, 450 plus of them, but definitely the most recent videos when they come out, I definitely check the comments for a while. So I'm always watching, like Roz and Monsters Incorporated. Always watching, always watching. So working on cutting out his head now, or part of his hair here. This is obviously the biggest piece. It's really the kind of the part that takes up the most space. The inside of his face with the glasses and his eyes are definitely the most complex. That's the part that took the longest. And I think it looks a lot like Harry Potter towards the end. It's kind of like a psychedelic version with the color choice, but it looks pretty cool. I think you guys will agree when I get to the very end that it looks pretty cool. So we'll see. You have to judge it for yourself. Alrighty, so working on cutting those out. It's been a little while since I posted a few videos to my other channel called Pop Culture Crafts. If you guys have been following that, I apologize for not posting a few videos on that other channel. With college and everything getting really busy, I've only been able to focus mostly on this channel here, which is obviously the more popular one. But I do have a few videos. I am going to something really cool in October, which will be having to do with something on the channel. I'll do something for that, and I'll show off a costume or two, which will be really cool, because I will be going to an event in October which will be really cool, and I won't divulge what it is yet, but you'll have to wait and see once we get towards to about 2 weeks into October. So that'd be kind of cool. Alright, so cutting out all these little pieces, this is definitely the hardest part. I was really kind of grasping at straws here to trying to cut it all out in one fell swoop. It wasn't that easy, but it typically worked out fairly well. It took me forever to peel up all the boundary markers. Like what you see there on the right took me about 15 minutes to peel up everything that was around those pieces. So you didn't get to see all that, but the video probably would have been at least another 10 minutes long if I had stuck all that on. So just applying his lips and his nose just for now. I really don't. I'm probably gonna move those around because those are just just sticking those on. I need to know where the eyes go, and I'm looking at the image on my computer screen off to my left to make sure that I'm applying everything in roughly the right part, and kind of just using his hairline as kind of the guideline of where to stick everything. So you see me making a little bit of adjustment. A lot of little pieces are getting lost in this. I'm trying to keep track of them all, but just sticking them all on, it's really difficult. Now I'm rearranging all those pieces, and you'll see what it looks like in just a few seconds. So sticking on the lightning bolt, of course, and there you have it. So I think it looks pretty cool. Definitely kind of wacky with the color choice. His lips were a little weird just because of the way that the silhouette worked out, and when you transfer something from silhouette paper to paper to duct tape, it always has a little bit of a distortion somewhere, so you kind of have to work around that. So hopefully you guys liked the video. There'll be more videos coming to the channel pretty soon. That's the Harry Potter silhouette time lapse.